18th for Heat, the veterans of Heat that are struggling with PTSD. What does it mean for you to go back to that area, Ken Fagan? We lost Ken Fagan a couple of years ago, to be there and to support the veterans in that area.
Well, you remember, Steve, that in my family, my mother's brothers one was in the Army, one was in the Navy, one was in the Marines, and my father was in the Air Force, and all at the same time. So, as you can imagine, I'm very, very proud of that in my family history tree, and I'm proud of the fact that they protected our country and they did their part to defend America.
Now, 50 years in baseball, Ray. I mean, you look back on things. Can you believe it's been 50 years? 1973, 2023.
Steve, number one, it's gone so fast. I wish I can go into a time machine and go back. And I would, honestly speaking, I wouldn't change anything just to have the chance to relive it, and to see the people that I love so much, to see the boss and Billy and Thurman and all the guys.
This is Reach Out Radio. If you want to call in, please do at 727-441-3000. It's 727-441-3000. FM 106.1, FM 102.3, FM 104.3, AM 1340, AM 1350, and AM 1400. Clearwater, Tampa, and St. Petersburg. We're trying to cover all bases here.
Steve, number one, I'm proud of the fact that you have brought Batboy to Florida, Batboy to the Tampa Bay area, and the aspect of supporting our wounded warriors here, the guys from Heat, and it's just a great thing, Steve. Thank you.
Well, no, it's a team effort. And going back to the Yankee news, we lost Joe Pepitone. Your thoughts about Joe?
I love Joe. Joe was one of the great, the most flamboyant Yankee. He was a sex symbol. He was fun. He was crazy, and he was my friend. And I will miss him forever. We got to do some things. Hey, my very first movie was with Joe Pepitone. He was the technical advisor in the baseball sequences of Blue Skies Again. So, I mean, we did a lot together.
When we do Batboy Returns, we talk about Reggie Jackson, we talk about Thurman Munson, Billy Martin, all the great players and the people behind the scenes of those dynasty years in the 70s. When we start to think back on some people that we've lost, every time it must take a little bit of your heart away too.
Steve, depending on who we talk about, it's tough for me. I'm like, I can't ever do an interview without not crying for Billy Martin or Thurman. You know what I'm saying? I just can't, because, Billy was my baseball father. He was my baseball father. I'm always grateful to Billy Martin Jr. because Billy Jr., he shared his dad with me, and he knew at a young age that he was helping me. He was sharing his dad. And I always thought that was so cool.
Yeah, he's going to be in the show on March 18th, and we have a lot of surprise guests. Orestes is going to be there too. Destrada,
the wonderful Orestes Destrada, the most, number one, he was a terrific baseball player. He a proud individual who came out of Cuba to beat the odds and become what he did in Major League Baseball, and honestly speaking, one of the most underrated broadcasters of anybody that's ever played the game that went on to that next level. And he will never get the credit that he deserves from the standpoint of that incredible talent that he has.
Right. And before we bring in some of the cast members of Batboy Returns, and we're going to play that commercial again so people could listen and how to get their tickets. We're giving out free tickets today also. Please call into the station, 727-441-3000 if you want free tickets. So please reach out to Bobby, our engineer, the great engineer. But we have to talk about George Steinbrenner. Without George, none of this is happening, right?
I mean, George was heaven sent. You can say whatever you want, but George Steinbrenner, the boss, was heaven sent, because if he doesn't buy the Yankees, if he ends up getting the Cleveland Indians in 1972, then I may have been one of the most notorious gangsters in America. You understand? I'd probably just be coming out of prison right now. And I mean, so many scenarios. Hey, listen, I was involved in a situation yesterday, whereas a guy was having a heart attack, and Luis Castillo told me, Ray, the guy's on the floor. I don't know if he's gonna make it. I run over. I had to give him pump his chest, and until the ambulance came. The ambulance came, and then they took over. And the guy today is doing okay. Okay, but they said that I saved his life. Let me just say this: George Steinbrenner saved his life. Because if he doesn't give me that opportunity in 1973, I would not have been at that restaurant yesterday, Steve.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
I hear
You
you,
see
brother.
how things work?
I hear you. I hear you.
I mean, there are so many variables in my life, so many, and it all goes back to him.
727-441-3000. I think we have a call on the line,
Yes,
and they
sir.
have a question for Ray Negron, right, Bobby?
Dennis on the line. Yes.
All right, Dennis, go for it. Dennis, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine.
Thank you for calling in. We're talking to Steve Vaccaro and Ray Negron, 50 years in baseball. What are your thoughts?
As a lifelong Yankee fan, but as far as for Ray, I'm Dennis Fagan. I'm Ken Fagan's brother.
Wow. How are you, brother?
I'm fine. I never had the opportunity to thank you for being my brother's friend and for you arranging for somebody from the Yankees to come to his wake. I really appreciated it. My family appreciated it.
Well,
For you being a friend of his.
Ken Fagan will always be a hero to me. Totally. I always used to say to him that he was my personal John Wayne. For flying all those missions, a real life John Wayne, and you know exactly what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
Well, Dennis, your father, your family is so wonderful, and it's your family that we're coming back to your area to do this show on March 18th, because not only did he serve in World War II, but he also served and helped his community in the Vietnam War. I mean, God bless you and your family, and we know your Tristan is going to be in the attendance as well, right?
As far as I know, I'll be there at Rookies tomorrow night.
Nice.
And then I'll be at the play on Saturday. My father served in the Merchant Marine during World War II, and Ken served for 20 years in the Air Force, 10 of which he was flying back and forth to Vietnam from 64 to 74.
Incredible.
Wow.
Incredible. And survived.
Yes, he did.
And survived.
Well, Dennis, thank you so very much. Rookies, go to Rookies tomorrow night, meet and greet, because our next guest, Bronson Arroyo, is going to be performing his band, Bronson Arroyo and the 04 band there. Bronson, are you there, sir?
I'm here.
Thank you, man. Thank you for doing what you're going to be doing tomorrow night. And Ray Negron, Bronson Arroyo.
Well, Bronson, thank you for doing what you're doing and for helping these poor guys that have given so much for Heat, and thank you for what you did in your wonderful baseball career.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to be out there tomorrow night. I'm actually going to be playing solo acoustic tomorrow night.
Nice.
All right.
But the band is coming in town the next couple of days to play a festival in Tampa over at Raymond James Stadium on the 19th. But tomorrow night it's going to be just myself.
Nice. We're looking forward to it. It hurts so much. We got to put you and Bernie Williams together.
Oh, I've played with Bernie many a times. Bernie's the type of guy who's such a classically trained musician that when he gets on the stage, he usually just wants to stay up there all night. He'll play any song in any key. You just tell him what key it's in, and he'll go.
Wow.
So, Bronson, why is it important for you to give back in such a big way? Not through just baseball, your music, but it seems like you're in front and center when community needs you.
Yeah, I split my time between Brooksville being my hometown and playing almost 10 years in Cincinnati. I try to do as much as I can when I'm around. It's a little bit of a hectic schedule sometimes, because there's so many places that need it. But, when you find time and you feel like there's a good opportunity to either add a little something to the equation, whether it's bringing some music to the table or having conversations at hospitals with kids or whatever it is, it feels like, it's the right thing to do.
Now, Bronson, you could be with a lot of Yankee people there. I know 2004 was one of the highlights of your career. Do you remember that year? Do you remember that series against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium at Fenway?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's going to go down as probably one of the greatest victories in the history of sport. Down 3-0 to the Yankees after losing to them in Fenway. I mean, losing to them in Yankee Stadium in Game 7 the year before, in extra innings with Aaron Boone hitting that home run, and to come back and grind our way back from down 0-3 and win that series, and then go on to sweep the Cardinals and win the World Series was, a magical run that you couldn't even script it in a movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It broke the hearts of many Yankee fans there. But the Cincinnati Reds are having a special day for you this year, right?
Yeah, I'm getting inducted into their Hall of Fame in mid-July. And, it's kind of strange when you play any sport for a long period of time. You think about contributing to your team. You think about trying to win a World Series. You never think about what's going to happen when you retire. And to be one of 90 people going into that Reds Hall of Fame next to Joe Morgan, Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, guys that I've become friends with over the last 15 years is, a dream come true.
Well, Jose Rijo was actually trying to reach you. He's someone that I'm very close to, just to congratulate you. I don't know if he's gotten a hold of you yet.
No, we haven't chatted. We were going to try to have breakfast together a couple of months ago, and our schedules got mixed up, and I had to leave town. I had to leave Cincinnati before he got in. But I'm sure I'll run into Jose sometime soon.
Well, he's a wonderful individual, and he had some nice things to say about you.
Very nice.
Real quick, Bronson, that famous leg kick of yours, was that the secrets to your success over the years?
Well, it was probably a little part of it, but I don't know if it was. Guys used to joke around saying it was like a distraction for the batters, but for me, it was just a really efficient way to kind of get into my mechanics and not waste a lot of energy. And that was born out of me copying Dwight Gooden, 1985, 1986, when I was 8 and 9 years old, just getting started pitching down in Key West, Florida. And Dwight Gooden was a great Mets pitcher from Tampa, Florida, and he kind of had a high leg kick, and that's just what my childhood mind kind of morphed out of it.
Right, and this band of yours is going to be at Raymond James Stadium on Sunday. Talk about the band a little bit and how people can get a hold of you.
Yeah, it's called Bronson Roy in the 04. I just put an album out on February 17th called Some Might Say, and it's on all the streaming platforms. You can find it anywhere from iTunes to Deezer, Apple Music, Spotify. It's everywhere. And, we're going to be playing a set in the afternoon before Dave Matthews and Weezer and Third Eye Blind and Pitbull do their thing on Sunday. And, it's only the second time this band has played live together. So we had a good time in Arizona with Eddie Vedder and Green Day a couple of weeks ago, and we're looking forward to doing it again.
Bronson, God bless you. Can't wait to meet you at Rookies
Bronson.
Tomorrow night and helping all the veterans of Heat. So we'll hear your music tomorrow and make some money for the Heat people over there.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys.
See you, brother.
We'll see you there. We'll bring an acoustic guitar, see if we can make it happen.
It's going to be
That's what
great.
I'm
It's going to be
talking
great.
about.
How can people get tickets? Let's go to a commercial for Batboy and we'll bring on the cast.
Batboy returns. Everyone deserves a second chance in life, and Ray Negron is the epitome of someone's life who was turned around because of a second chance. On March 18th, you'll have the opportunity to see a musical stage production based on his amazing accomplishments, but also meet Ray in person. And it's all to benefit the Veterans Heat Factory, a local nonprofit organization that works with the veterans and first responders struggling with post-traumatic stress disorder. You can see this amazing production featuring the cast from the off-Broadway play, including Ray Negron and Orestes Estrada, at the Springstead Theater in Spring Hill. Tickets are only $10. To buy tickets, visit veteransheatfactory.com or call 352-251-7015. That's Batboy returns March 18th at 7:30 p.m.
Ray, you know that sound, right? Yankee baseball. The Batboy cast is in town, so give us a Reggie. There we go. Speaking of Reggie, what does it mean for you to play Reggie Jackson on Saturday?
Oh my gosh! First of all, thanks to all you guys. Thanks for Ray Negron. This story is, for me, it almost seems like it's a fiction. Like this is somebody that Steven Spielberg would have made, because it's unbelievable some of the stories that you're going to see that that really actually happened. So for me, playing Reggie Jackson, I was a kid that I had to wear glasses for real. I didn't wear them because I wanted to be just like Reggie. But since Reggie wore glasses, right then and there, I knew I would love that guy for my whole career.
You should have grown a mustache.
I could never grow a mustache. I have my you know, I tell you what, I wish I could, but you know.
Well, we got a good magic marker for you. It's okay.
I know. Ralph Bracco, you've been playing Billy Martin for a number of years, and be a Yankee season ticket holder for how many years?
45. This will be my 45th straight opening day. So I'm 5 years behind Ray. He's got 50 years in baseball. I'm 45. So I actually was able to see him on the field when he was scurrying around picking up those bats.
But Ray never paid for a ticket. You paid 45 years on
45.
that.
That's right. You're damn right. And I'm what they call the fan, but they never asked me my opinion.
Ralph, what does it mean to play Billy Martin?
Oh, it's a very special thing. You know, like I've always said, listen, when you guys asked me to come on board, it wasn't like you had to, you know, twist my arm. There was no second thought about it. And it's one of the character roles that I play that I really feel I don't have to study for, because I've watched Billy while he was with the Yankees and all the stories I heard from my father tell me about Billy, the type of ball player he was. And he was, listen, I never got to see him play, but he was almost like an idol for me, because I was a scrappy second baseman when I was coming up playing Little League and stuff like that. Fiery, but, you know, you can see the immense leadership that he had, the smart intellect that he was on the field, and his furiousness off the field, which I love. But it's an honor to play Billy. I mean,
How is it when you see Billy's wife over here?
Where? Oh, I didn't know. Where's Jill?
There she is. Yeah.
Oh, I walked in.
She's right in the studio right there.
Okay, there she is. I see her now. It's fantastic. And having Billy Martin Jr. part of the show this time around, you know, having some stories. And listen, like I said, I can only emulate Billy as much as I seen as a fan.
Right.
And what I can get from him, knowing a little bit of his mannerisms and stuff like that. You listen, as a kid growing up, you get up there playing make believe who you're batting, you practice their stance. And Billy actually, you know, everybody imitate Billy, you know, arguing and stuff like that. And I feel I can, you know, pay a little homage to him.
Is it true that Billy, you had a fight with a Marshmallow Man?
Yeah, I did.
Every show, you knock me out, man. Every single
best
show.
part of the show is being able to throw some
I'm
punches.
flipping the script on Saturday. We're going to change this story around a little bit. But Ray, talk about Carmine Alvizio, Little Ray.
Little Ray. Carmine has been doing a very nice job playing me for the last few years. He's been the only Little Ray, and he's growing out of the part. You know, even he's lost his afro and everything. So
chopped all my hair right before the show.
It's right on time. I'm always proud of Carmine. Always very proud of him, and I want to see him grow to the next level, because I think he could be one of the best actors in this country, and I really mean
that. You ready for that, Carmine? Thanks, Bobby, for that applause in the studio there. Carmine, when you were asked to play Ray Negron,
yes,
what did that mean for you back in the day there, a couple of years back?
Back in the day, I was 17, so that just meant an amazing start. Thanks to Ray, he saw potential in me, and I was just very hungry to be an actor, and loved the story that Ray had. You know, Ray's part in Yankee Dynasty was just incredible, and you get to see the behind the scenes to what happened in the clubhouse and the locker rooms of that era, of the World Series championship era. So that's just incredible.
But Ray's you're not the only bat boy in the room here. We have Sean's going to play Thurman Munson. We got Squeezy over here. And guys, Sean, what does it mean to play Thurman Munson this
Bat
go-around?
Boys are returning.
It's a very big honor, you know, having worn the pinstripes. And then when someone says, listen, we want you to play the iconic captain and heart and soul of the championship teams that came to George Steinbrenner, the first championships. It's an unbelievable honor, and I just want to do a good job for not only Thurman, but for Ray and the entire cast.
And Squeezy, man, you do so much work in the community in the Bronx. You have a couple of books out there. Why is that important for you?
Again, following in the footsteps of the godfather of all bat boys, you know, Ray Negron, 50 years in baseball. Glad to call him a brother. He's done things for so many. When I was a bat boy, I used to see him with his little mullet, DA, looking handsome, and giving us kids, you know, bat boys and everybody, you know, setting the example for us. And bat boys are not just on, you know, helping players. They're superheroes. They do things off the field and on the field for people. And I just love, you know, when you get back to someone and see a kid or an adult happy and smiling, that makes your heart rich, man. That money can't buy that. And what we're doing out here for PTSD, all the Batboy cast here in Tampa, Florida, must come, man. It's an emotional roller coaster. It's a life story of a great gentleman, and with beautiful people playing beautiful roles. I mean, Ray always knows how to pick talent. And Steve, you know, what you produce with behind the scenes, and Anna and Carmine, you know, just putting the Ray story out there, because Ray wants his story told so it can help someone else. And Ray's never been selfish. He's always put other people's first, and this is his time, you know, to shine bright, brother.
One quick question, Squeegee. Ken Fagan, real quick.
Oh, man. Can't wait to see his family, his grandson Tristan on Saturday. You know, this man, when we first met him, Steve, right? Driving us everywhere, 90 years old. Like, the guy didn't stop, man, and he took us to different places to raise money. And, you know, God rest his soul, he's in the heavens watching over us. And I know this is a beautiful tribute that Ray and us are doing for Ken Fagan and his family, because this is the way he would have wanted.
Well, Lisa, you a Yes Network, play professional soccer. Now you're playing Dinah Munson. What does that mean for you?
Wow, I don't even know where to start. I'm just so thankful to be in a group filled with such talented, amazing, motivated people. And 50 years in baseball for Ray Negron, unbelievable. It's just an honor to be in his presence. This man puts a smile on everybody's face. To play Diana Munson is an incredible honor. I've learned so much about her just hanging around these great people. And she has such a powerful role. And she's a powerful woman too. So to lose somebody, to lose your best friend, your everything, is not easy. She's a role model to a lot of women on this earth. And she's also continues to be a charitable woman. So it's just really, I'm really excited to play her role.
Wow. Ray, when you hear everybody talking, what are you feeling, man?
Happy. I feel happy. I wish that Thurman, that Billy could see this, that Mr. Steinbrenner could see this, that Mr. Sinatra could see this, and it's just wonderful.
Well, guys, give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you. We're going to be our rookies tomorrow night. Meet and greet. We're going to take us home. And God bless, man. See you tomorrow night. See you on March 18th. Batboy returns, helping out Heat, the veterans with PTSD. God bless, man.
You got to stop the fight. These wars inside of your own head.